Good afternoon. Oops, nope, still good morning. Good morning. It's Gretchen here, and I am on day 3 of my 30 days of editing for 30 minutes a day to try to get down to 30 photos. It could be a challenge and a half. So far, I'm using my organizing method from Scott Kelby, the Slim method. It's the simple Lightroom uh, integration method or something. I don't know. Anyway, I'll link his talk at B&H on this. He does have a class in it too, if you were really wanted to do a deep dive in it on his Kelby one. But for me, this works pretty well. Um, you put the full shoot into a collection, and then you go through that full shoot and just do a quick pick. You don't do any editing, you don't do anything. You just kind of go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Go to flag pick. Then you take those picks and put them in a collection. And from the picks, you then do selects, and you don't try to grade them from 1 to 5. You just go a 5 or a 0, 5 or 0, 5 or nothing. And then those are in a select file, and that's where I am now. I've gone from 428 to 170, which is not low enough. Definitely not low enough for the project. But you still throw them all in there because they're the ones that you could possibly want to edit. And I mean, yeah, he's a little more brutal when but he's doing portrait stuff. I'm trying to fit a story, a vision that I have that is still in process. So that's part of it. I'm kind of keeping notes for myself in a little notebook here on each day, and I set a timer for 30 minutes so that I don't lose um, interest and I don't lose a fresh eye. So if I just go for 30 minutes, yes, it's barely getting into it, but it's building up the muscle of what I want to see. And it will get better. It will get better. I tell myself that it will get better. So we're going to hop over to Lightroom, and the timer is going to start up in the corner for 30 minutes. And for the past couple of days, I have missed the timer, so I might move it to a more obvious spot that I can see it. But we'll get rocking and rolling. And I think that today's plan is to maybe do um, a, a bulk edit on all of them. Probably do a denoise um, that Lightroom has, do a bulk denoise and apply that to all of them. And then I'll look again at which ones maybe don't, because bulk denoise and whether and then I'll go through and do some select like exposure things, because some of them are a little dark and some of them are a little bright, and I might do some of that real quick so that I can then hone down, because 170 is just too many. Too many. So let's hop on to get started. Okay, we're going to move this where I can actually see it. Maybe make it a little bigger. Catch it in the corner of my eye. All right, here we go. Now, we've got, they're all, are we in library? Oh, we're going to go to develop. Stop. I don't want that. And we're going to do, okay, there we are. We should have all of them selected. And we're going to go to denoise. And did on that one. And I want to sync denoise to all of them. Well, I'm starting with denoise um, that Lightroom has is because your edits were synced, but updating IAI settings may take some time. So they've got an AI denoise that in Lightroom now that works really well. It's rather than manually, and especially for these infrared black and whites. Um, one of the things that does happen, you get a fair amount of grain sometime, or with infrared, you get a little more of not. It's more grain than noise, but it looks somewhat. And denoise works on it. That's all I can say. I don't necessarily go by what the details or the technical aspect of it is. I try it, and if it works, I use it. I don't care why. I do know that some of the new Lightroom tools in that they have to be done in a certain order, and you'll get a little this little arrow, this little triangle over here. You can maybe see right there. Okay, that little triangle will show up orange, kind of bright orange yellow as a caution flag. If it gets done out of order, then it causes the layers because it's brought a bit of layers into Lightroom with this. Ouch, I got something in my eye. Oh, right. All right, that is doing its thing here. Update IAS. Okay, you can move over there. All right. So let's go look through here and go back to here. Oh, it's just going to keep going, isn't it? It wants to do this. Well, this is going to take up some of my time. Hang on. Oh, well, that's what's going to happen. It wants to do this. And I can't go forward and back, but I can look at some of these down here. I'm going to look this one with a light down here at the bottom. I'm going to need to, maybe can I do bigger thumbnails? I can't do anything. I'm stuck here. It's telling me it's got the little thing. Well, oh no, it's not going to take my whole time. Well, okay. Can I go to a different one? I can't. And I can't move anything around because it's working on denoise. It says it's going to take 16 minutes. I don't want to spend 16 minutes of my life doing that. Oh, well, but I may have to. Yeah. Well. Okay, let's think about this instead, since we're at this spot. So we have a project that I'm going to work on. I have a project, and it is called, so far, Building Freedom. And freedom is spelled with an READ in it instead of REE, because we're talking about reading and libraries and the significance of what happened bringing these libraries into communities. And you know what? I'm going to stop this because I can't edit. I stop. Stopping. Yeah, it only did 22% of them. All right, so that tells me if I'm going to do this live, I need to do fewer of them at a time. All right, okay. Let's take a look again here. We'll go back into where we were in the library and go to here, go to thumbnail size. This one has to be straightened if I'm going to use it. This is kind of repetitive. And so is that. So let's take a look at this one and this one and compare these two. Not with giant thumbnails. Where's my thumbnail? There we go. Nope. Okay. Time to go to develop. All right, let's see if we can get this straight at all first off. Auto. Okay, auto did fine. That did just fine. Reflection of the buildings across the way. This building has been taken over by a nonprofit. And so it's no longer a library, but that does show some aspects of the setup versus, where's the other one? Oh, the front, this one. This one I think is better because it shows the, let's get an auto on that one. Yeah. So here we're showing this straight on of the whole building. We're showing the front, the way it has that. This one is the better one. So I will keep this one. And let's see, what did I do with architecture color? Is architecture A? Yes. Nope, nope. Set it to red. It's red. Yellow, yellow. I think my architecture is red, yellow. I have a color setting for the different ones. So this one, while it's still a top in the numbers, I'm not going to edit that one right now. I'm going to go through and see which ones I'm going to first edit. So this one, maybe not right off the bat. Nope, not that one. That's a repeat. That's pretty much, I've already got that. Let's get a different, okay. So we've got that. Let's get a different view of the building. This one. We'll take that one. Okay. Got two from that school, that spot. This is Tyler Hall. That's a better one. I think. Let's check. So in this level at editing, what I'm going to be doing is going through to see which ones might be sharper. Let me see something. Oh, this one might be better because I can get more dynamic range out of it, I think. Yeah, so I'll take that one, not the next one. This is the end of the building, which is unique. I want that one. And one of them has to have, oh, this one has the front entrance, which was kind of a unique front entrance. Okay, and where's my transform? Think right now what I'll do is go through and do transform on them that are crooked. It was cold. Sometimes it was cold, sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it was wet and rainy. But I'm not always so great at getting, especially architecture. You know, you got to get things straight. This is a definite yellow. Let's do what happens when I auto that one. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Wow. I like that one. I like the way that entrance was. Now these are the interior ones. This is the interior I like better. Shows the windows. This is definite interior. And this one, original flooring, we'll see. That's not the fireplace. And that's not the fireplace. But that's cool because it shows the arches. Back side or this side. Let's see. Huh. Outside. It's good. I kind of like that one because it shows. And this side. Where's that one? Nope, this one. Okay. I liked this building a lot. So all right. Oh, this was also a very cool one. Yep, that one. Okay, that one will work too. This is cool because it shows the difference in that structure that they had. Where am I? Transform. Why don't I close these down that I'm not going to use right now? That would be smart. If I'm not going to do any of those, I'm not going to do any of that right now. I'm just going to do an occasional, oh, maybe I'll put detail on so I know if it denoised or not. And okay, no, that makes it's too big of a panel. I just want to go between transform. There we go. That's all I want to be able to see right there. Exposure, if I need to exchange, just adjust that a little bit. And then transform. That's all I need right now. That's all I need. And did I get that one? Yes. Interior. Nope, don't need that one. This one. I'll do that. Which one? These two are both. Oh, full fireplace. That's cool. And then the details of the fireplace. I think I have another one that has more details on the fireplace that I can always come back to. Hey, hi, Obs. Nice to have you here, kiddo. I'm doing my 30 30 30. You're 15 minutes into my live today. I'm doing 30 days, 30 minutes a day to try to get down to 30 final edits. I'm on day 3 and I'm just starting the basic edits. I went from 424 to 170. Ugh. Now I'm just going through that 170, which are all selects, but seeing which ones will fit the story the best and which ones I have too many repetitives of and which ones I'm going to spend my time editing. So, thank you. Yeah, this is a different thing. I'm doing this on camera, and then I've got others. I'm doing 3 videos a day. Obs, am I nuts? I'm doing a live. I'm doing for on camera. I'm doing a creative kaleidoscope creative conversation. That's a longer usually about 10 minutes video. Hopefully, it doesn't have to be edited much. Usually doesn't just trim beginning and end because you know me, how much I love to edit. And then I'm doing a global year of kindness word of the day thing that sometimes I'm putting actually in with creative kaleidoscope creative too. And then of course all those shorts need to get together. So sometimes yesterday I did 4. I got to do this. Got to get this muscle memory going and get it so it doesn't take me all dang day. I'm asleep when I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm asleep sometimes uh, when you're going in your morning stuff. Although I've done my morning pages today, I'm very glad for those. Those are keeping me like sane. This one, okay, that's cool. The windows on the interior. That doesn't really show that workroom. That colonnades. That's cool to show the transition between what the new part of the building and the old 1910 part, I think this is. I'm not sure. Original floor, another one. That's a better one of original flooring than I had from that other. And then the original doors, kind of interior. We'll see if that adds to the story. Oh, this is better. Remove yellow label. This one's better. Maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Lights, lights, lights and colonnades. They had so many lights in the libraries back then when they did that. It was so cool. Oh, that's better. That one. And I know the tile is the original tile from like what year was this one? Where am I? This is Lincoln Branch Public Library. It doesn't tell me what year on it, does it? Oh, it does on that right there, but I can't see it. It was probably somewhere between 1907 and 1913. And those are all still the original flooring. And okay, there. Colonnades. This is what's cool. This is the original fireplace in there. The detail work. Okay, there. Just it's so amazing. Yeah. I think I like no. That lights other places. And then the exterior of the buildings, how they had those, just every one of them was just so awesome. This was in Moline. This was a building that from like 1905, I think, and is now a music conservatory. But the owner of the building lives in Florida, not in the Midwest, and he doesn't think it's making him enough money as a music conservatory, even though there's like 350 students there taking classes and people running, and he's not selling enough retail and musical instruments. So he's shutting down the conservatory, but he can't do anything with the building. It's on the National Historic Register. So it's not like he can, you know, turn it into anything or rip it out or do stuff. So it's kind of crazy. It's too bad. I was talking to the guy who's running it, and he really wanted to look at this woodwork. Look at these stairs. And oh my God, it was just cool. Yeah, very cool. The old fireplaces in them, just the woodworking in these places were absolutely stunning. This is kind of cool. This is a cool story. That's a dumbwaiter. They're like 3-story tall dumbwaiter. So what they would do is that they had the books stored in a different level because this used to have a second level on it. So they had the books stored in another level, and you would have one of those little megaphones, and they would call out for the book, and that's how you got call numbers on books. That doesn't show that. That's the original ceiling. More fireplace. Yeah, there's one. Great big fireplace they had. Where am I? Okay, this one I need to check, see if the exposure will come up at all. I'll get any, yes. So you had detail like that. That's cool. That'll work. And these little alcoves with the windows. Okay, it's been denoised. Good. I don't know about that. I can always go back and see. I can have a lot of these for fillers too. I love this corner piece. I know. Okay, now this place, seriously, this building took up probably half a city block, and it's now the Union Pacific Railroad Museum, and it is in Council Bluffs, Iowa, I think it was. Anyway, so gorgeous. Free public library. I love that. And the building had jutted out in such an angle. So you had the original, and then when they added on stuff, how they connected them, that was always really fascinating to see how they'd added on to parts of the building. But the original part was so stunning. That one's too bright. This was middle of the day. Middle of the day. There we go. So you can see, look at the grand staircase that was there. Man, that was still the original. Yeah, that's a better one right there. I think this one's, yeah, remove that one. Gift of Andrew Carnegie. That was keeping that. Oh, that was for the columns to show those. 1904, 1905. This one was built 1904, 1905. And then this. So, oh, this was cool. I like the details that they had. That one. Oh, that one. Oh. And then the lampposts and stuff were all part of it. It was so cool. There it is, Union Pacific. Shows how big it is. How that was the original size of it for a library on the river in Iowa, between Iowa and, is it Nebraska? I don't know. I need a map. I need a map. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then we go from that giant thing to this tiny little house in Ashland. Oh, where was it? Ashland. What state? Kansas? No, it was in Kansas. Was it Nebraska? Anyway, it was so cute, Obs, on this. They had a sign on the door that said Ashland County or something museum. For inquiries or to visit the museum, call Alice, and had Alice's phone number, or Betty and had her phone number. Seriously, on the door was a little sticker. So it was, I think it had regular open hours, maybe like on the first Tuesday of whatever. I don't know. It was kind of funny. But then if you wanted to see it another time, to call these one of these two ladies, and they would come and let you in. So that's the downstairs aspect of that one. We had a lower stair. This one's cool. And then, is this the front of it? No. There it is. That's the front of it. It was just a little house. Now, I mean, it had been a little house. There we go. The Ashland. I loved it. And it still had the details, even though it was just, it wasn't as fancy a place or big. So the details were like different, but it still had really amazing details in it in places. Okay, this was in another town. This had become a realtor's office. Had a back door kind of aspect. Where was I? Had an amazing front door. And this was this one. Let's do a transform. Yeah. Okay. How am I doing on detail? Oh, I'm not. Okay, I'm good. A little. The other with the little. It was seriously, it was probably about an 800 square foot house. It was that tiny. It looked bigger, but it was a little bungalow, the little one. The one before it was like, a city block. Oh, I like that too. I have no idea how much of a lag behind I'm getting here. So this was the back side. So this would have been the back door entrance, and then it had a lower area. Oops, why am I doing that? Needs to be that. There we go. Okay. Oh, and this one was, and this one was cool because it had a corner entrance, a little different corner. The one in Pendleton, Oregon, has a true corner entrance. This was just on the corner with, it was offset, but the new part of the building had been added on and incorporated it so nicely on the interior. So the old exterior wall was used interior, and they kept it. It was just beautiful. Okay. All right. So I have 53 seconds left of looking at this. And then, so my goal in this OBS is to only do a bit a day so that I don't get tired of the project, and so I don't get burned out on, and so that I keep looking at it with a fresh eye. And by just doing a little bit every day, I like that one too, then I can see it with fresh eyes. So the trees look white because this is infrared film, or not film, infrared digital, and it makes green foliage turn white. Thanks, Aubrey. I'm working at it. See, this is the exterior wall that they brought on the inside. And now I am at my 30 minutes of editing. So here I go back, and I'm back to here. That's just the basics. So I know where I left off. I just leave it sitting there, and then I can come back to it tomorrow, and it will be ready for me, which is kind of cool. And I like that. And here, let me pull this in. Oops, got some music too loud. Anyway, it keeps me kind of happy with it. And the music I found I'm using is from that FreePD freepd.com. And yeah, so that's my live for today. Just the basics. That's all I was doing today. Just the basics. I started out trying to denoise them all, but it was going to take 16 minutes for it to finish. So I think I might, after I get off, just pull them back up and finish the denoise on that, so that's ready for tomorrow, and I'll have a little better sense of them. So I'm about halfway through that 170 and picking and choosing which ones I will then finally edit and see how I did. So thanks for being here, Obs, and anybody else who catches this on the replay. Let me know what you think. You know, it's always appreciated, the kind words, and my phone is ringing. But until next time, everybody, you know, keep looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you, but the first place you'll find it is when you go look in your own mirror. And if you like this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, maybe, and notification, because I'll be back tomorrow with another one around 11:30, 11:40 Pacific time. See you then.